Hi, welcome to the video. This is how to effectively treat autistic symptoms and help them live a more productive life, you or your kids. So some important dietary decisions to make when trying to improve autistic symptoms would include cutting out gluten and dairy. They contain gliadorphins and casomorphins that take effect after about 6 to 7 hours of ingestion, creating typical autistic symptoms such as overstimulation and sensory issues. They are dependent on the amount consumed, which also creates bipolar type symptoms, oftentimes being really down throughout the day and then having, say, 20 minutes of excitement and euphoria, as well as increased inhibitions and overthinking. Gluten can also cause increased intestinal permeability, so the effects worsen over time with gluten ingestion. You may have seen some people with autism have really noticeable bags under their eyes. This is usually caused by the gliadorphins and casomorphins in their diet. I had bad bags under my eyes for most of my life, but when I cut out gluten and dairy, that is when the bags went away and I felt so much better and more calmer, more comfortable around people. I recently did an experiment where I ate gluten and dairy for a few days. I was waking up with intense gut pain, extreme anxiety, overstimulated, and unable to look people in the eye. I felt like I was being bombarded by all my senses. When I heard sounds, I would instantly get stressed out. And that's when the bags under my eyes returned. It's from the gliadorphins and casomorphins in their system. So this is typical autistic symptoms that a lot of people suffer from. It also depends on how permeable your intestines are to allow them chemicals to pass into your body and then inevitably into your blood-brain barrier, which then takes effect. Notable symptoms. Watch out for any salicylate intolerance, creating panic attack / stress that can't subside for hours. This is usually observed 20 to 30 minutes after eating usually anything, because most foods contain a high amount of salicylate, and if they're unable to adequately provide sulfation of them phenols, then it'll build up in their system and feel like they're having a really bad panic attack. Other notable symptoms include a flushed red face and beetroot red ears. NAC tablets can greatly help alleviate the symptoms of salicylate intolerance due to the detoxifying effects. Temporary reduced salicylate in the diet until the threshold has increased. You may need to take a beta HCl if they have a SIBO or dysbiosis. That often causes salicylate intolerance. Eat low and anti-inflammatory foods. Typical flush reaction occurs within 20 to 30 minutes of ingestion. MCS, which stands for multiple chemical sensitivity, is a common problem. So diesel fumes, refried oils, candles, etc. can give intense headaches and brain fog within minutes of exposure. So avoidance of them would be beneficial. Also, an air purifier would probably be a good idea, especially if they suffer from dust mite allergies as well. So it's good to keep everything clean quite often. Stay away from products containing SLS, which stands for sodium lauryl sulfate. A lot have detoxification issues, so increasing antioxidants in the diet would be beneficial. Some have pyroluria, so taking B6 and zinc could help dramatically alleviate the stress that they accumulate. You can get tested for that as well. It's a urine test. A lot suffer from constipation and gut issues. That is where a lot of the extreme anxiety comes from. It can be an instant change. It can feel like impending doom, and that now your reality you're in is filled with dread and dysphoria, and it's cycles. You get stressed and get these physical problems, and the physical problems worsen the stress. So it can be hard to get a grasp on what is really going on. Sometimes endlessly searching for different supplements and diet plans, hoping that this will be the one. The truth is, it takes time, and it's the accumulative effect of a lot of the supplements and diets have on the body that determines the outcome. So you can see how they can get quite a toxic load on the body. Now let me talk about meditation. Meditation is a great way to finally relax and set your mind and emotions free. Is it the people you're around that makes you feel bad? Or is it how you perceive them? You are your reality. You're the observer of your universe. Don't reject bad emotions because of how you felt at the time. Integrate them with your being. They make you who you are. They make you, you. If you try to avoid them, then you'll be more susceptible to stress when you're around people or circumstances that previously made you uncomfortable. Also, abdominal massages can help greatly for constipation and with peristalsis for the gut, and moderate to intense exercise can have anti-inflammatory effects on the body and help your mood. I've found that kratom is one of the best medications to take when experiencing bad autistic symptoms. It acts on the opioid receptors in the brain, and a lot of autistic individuals have inadequate opioid activity in the brain, especially if they eat wheat and dairy. When you or your child starts to get healthier, you can use kratom as medication to help recondition them to a new perception of their reality. Doing so can create a remarkable recovery in them individuals. They still might be unsocial or have PTSD-like symptoms, but over time these will improve as they feel more and more comfortable with their self and with being around other people. These are based on personal experiences and a lot of research, so if I can get better after years of illness, so can a lot of other people. That is why I'm making these videos, to help people. My diet now primarily consists of mostly fruits because of how detoxifying they are and how unreactive they are with my body. Remember, health is personal. You have to find out what works for you. So try an elimination diet. I also eat a lot of gluten-free stuff and usually make my own meals because that's how I know what is in them. The only dairy I eat is butter because it only contains little amounts of casein that doesn't really affect me. I have a range of supplements I take, but a few that have really helped me are L-glutamine for gut support, B12 for mental health, the NAC tablets for detoxification, B6 and zinc to help alleviate stress, and Pepsin GI for gut support. Also Cascara and Dulcolax sometimes for constipation. Pepsin GI and Mastic have greatly helped my gut issues as well. We're learning every day, and we learn what is good for us and what is not so good for us. There are still loads to learn about this condition, but implementing these techniques can dramatically improve or even totally subside these symptoms that you or your child has, and give him or her the best chance for full recovery. Thanks for watching this video. I hope you're all the best. Goodbye.